Boys in blue, but green before the badge. The first person who ever made the stash.
Good morning.
The rock boys in the building tonight. Oh, what a
So
feeling,
bright.
feeling like.
All right. This thing on? Okay. Is this thing on? Yeah, man, I got shoes and everything. Socks, too. I have multiple pairs of them at home. How y'all doing? You guys seem like a strangely not hungover audience, which is, I guess, a sign that we're all getting older. Or you guys are. I'm not. I'm so well preserved at this stage. Okay, I think you guys better watch out. She's now yours, so you're responsible. Yeah, you're responsible for all of her actions. You know what I forgot to do is pitch you. I meant to. This is the heaviest, hardcorest pitch ever. A couple times a year, I have a small group of 6 people come to my house for 2 days, and we hatch evil schemes. And I'm going to pitch you the hatching of the evil schemes now. If you're doing $1 million plus or close to it, this is beneficial for you. If you're not, probably not so beneficial. It's 18 grand to come, and most of the time what we end up doing is getting very clear on what you want and then cutting out all of the bullshit that's getting in your way and developing a better scheme to help you get there faster. A couple of people that are here have been there, and I've now totally forgotten who they are, except for Brooke has come, so if you want to talk to her, she'll tell you it was the greatest thing ever. I'll pay you for that later. Greg Luther is here. He's come. He'll tell you it was the greatest thing ever. I'll pay you for that later. There he is. So if you are interested in that, talk to anyone in the team in the back. It's very, very good, limited to 6 people. If we sell it today, great. If not, I'll send an email to my list and I'll sell it that way. So there you go. Thus ends the most hardcore pitch in the history of seminars. You're welcome. Oh, Aurora says something. Oh, when is it? So you're just not going to just randomly show up, okay?
So we know we had a spot taken this morning. So of the 6, we now have 5 spots left, and it's April 27th,
4 now. 4, April 27th and 28th.
27th and 28th.
I'll be freshly returned from Bora Bora, so I'll have yeah, well, tough, you know. You're past the refund period, so fuck you. Wouldn't that be great to actually be able to do that for everyone who's in the event business? It's just like that one time, you know? Like, oh my God, how many times have you wanted to say that? We'll get people that'll be like 8 months after the fact, you know, and they're like, oh, can I get a refund on this $90 thing? I'm like, yes, but dude, geez, are you serious? You are really in bad shape. But what can you do? So thank you for letting me do that. I wouldn't do it anyone but you because I know that you're cool. Okay, so we got a big day, and I don't know if we'll fly through this like we did yesterday, or it'll take a while. I have no idea because I've really not taught this stuff before. So maybe we'll end early, maybe we won't. I have no clue. This is all brand new, so thanks for being my guinea pigs. So this morning, well, first of all, let's review yesterday. So we talked about how to get stuff done, and we sort of started, well, we didn't sort of start, we really heavily got into the creation of this book funnel model, which is pretty sweet. So we concluded that there's no need to write an actual book, that one person statistically now out of 49,000 will actually realize that your webinar and the book are the same. So that's pretty good. And I don't even think there's anything wrong with webinar and book being the same, as long as it delivers on the promises that you're making when you're selling the book. Who cares where the source material of the book is? So we got that done. We talked about how to create a webinar offer, which is cool, with heavy emphasis on teaching during that webinar to maintain your goodwill. And what else did we talk about? Oh, we talked about product creation, the bigger, more expensive products, all the way down to your less expensive one-click upsell products, which is pretty sweet, and we realized they all follow the same framework, which is awesome. So a big theme of what I'm trying to share with you during our time together is this concept of using frameworks and systems to almost build an assembly line. And the cool thing is you can do it with products using the escape and arrival framework that we talked about, but you can also do it with copy, which is really cool because you'll likely notice that if you're going to have a bottleneck in your business, it is the speed at which you can get copy done and promotions written. At least that's it for me, and it's usually, if I'm not bullshitting myself, it's because I just don't feel like writing the copy, so I'll screw around and not write the copy, which is why I invented these concepts of this assembly line copy. So what we're going to start with today is I'll show you the framework that I'm using with great success, by the way, to create long-form sales copy. And the hope is that this demystifies a lot of how to actually write sales letters. Nothing will replace actually writing copy, by the way, but this will make the process of writing copy easier. So what do you say we get started with? Oh, look at there, it's already there. So the name of this fantastic presentation is Assembly Line Copy, also known as Get New Contacts Frank. So this is, what you're going to want to do probably is just make notes for each section. So on your assembly line, you've got multiple pieces of a sales letter. So you don't need to draw all the boxes and stuff, but just sort of write out each section. I would recommend that you dedicate 1 page of your notes per section that we're going to go over, because I'm going to go through examples, and then I'm going to, where'd you go? I'm going to get my man Ryan O'Donnell to, off the cuff, give us some examples as well based on these frameworks. So first part of every sales letter, of course, is going to be your headline, and there are a gazillion headline formulas. Here are the ones that I find most effective. Number 1 is the how to yay without boo, how to get a good result without having to do stuff that sucks. Number 2 is the statement of the offer, announcing the new thing, all right? Number 3 is the question about pain. Do you ever have this stuff that really sucks? Gets their attention. And the 4th is the dog whistle. Read this if you have X problem, okay? So here are some actual examples of these. My favorite by far, because I'm a creature of habit, is number 1, which is how to yay without boo. So this letter has been working for a year now, and prior to it being evergreen for a year, I used it in 2013 as well, but I just didn't make it evergreen because I was dumb. So this has been like the control forever. And here's the headline. This sells the consulting book for $5.60. I swear to God, we actually get $5.60 refunds sometime. I'm like, really? Okay, sure, you can have it, but geez. So new book reveals how to sell high-ticket consulting services even if nobody's ever heard of you. The how to sell high-ticket consulting services is the yay. Even if nobody has ever heard of you is the boo, right? How to good thing without bad thing. And we need a mic runner. So it's almost like freestyle rapping is what it is here. I'll just call on you to give more examples of them because I like watching you work. Oh, Ryan, sorry, up front. Yeah, for Ryan, I just want to get more examples from you. Anything. Yeah, it could be literally like, let's make it all not money-related stuff, because mine are all marketing-related typically, so it could be anything. Let's see. Is it the cup? We're selling the cup?
Wait, is this working? How to get 10 times more energy without drinking 10 cups of coffee.
Perfect. How to get more energy without using stimulants. That's great, right? Excellent. So a very, very simple framework. Here's another one. This is for my Convert book. The Convert book, which is another one that I just sold once and never made evergreen because I'm a genius, and the consulting book are the ones that have cumulatively sold 49-something thousand copies. Here's the headline. This is a offer headline, okay? So the second formula is statement of offer. Free book reveals how to create internet campaigns that sell, right? It doesn't have to be free. It could be new book reveals. It could be introducing a brand new method of how to X, Y, Z. Anything you want. You want to give it a crack?
Free book reveals how to write copy even if you failed English class.
Yeah, that's still how to yay without boo. So it could actually be free book reveals how to write copy. Yeah.
I like the yay without boo.
I know, it works. Yay without boo is a good one. It's always my go-to. Okay, so that's your example of just a direct statement of offer. Here's the thing when it comes to copy. We look at all of these unbelievable copywriting genius masters, and a lot of these folks are writing pieces for super cold markets. Like, I can't remember what Eugene Schwartz actually said in Breakthrough Advertising because I only read like the first 2 chapters because he doesn't use small words and he writes hard and stuff. But there's like these stages of market awareness, and a lot of the copy that you see in copywriting courses is geared for people who are like the hardest nuts to crack, like very sophisticated, very skeptical, they've seen everything, and the copywriter's coming from this really obtuse kind of angle using this long drawn out story. And when we see that and try to model it, it gives us this impression that it's never going to work if we just get to the damn point and make an offer. 90% of all of my stuff gets to the damn point and makes an offer. I think Jay Abraham said it, sometimes the best way to sell a horse is to run an ad that says horse for sale. I'm like, you know what? I actually understand what you said just then, Jay. This is amazing. And it was really, really good advice. Okay, so that statement of offer, that formula works very, very well. Here's the question about pain. All right, so a question about pain is kind of it's a new discovery for me. It's obviously not a new tactic. I think this is a Gene Schwartz ad. No, I don't think it's a Gene Schwartz ad. I don't remember whose ad this is. But this is a great example. Are you tired of doctors who can't find out what's wrong with you? Right? That's really your headline. This finally all natural ways to get healthy and happy is your subhead. Subhead strengthens that. But we could do this about anything. Are you tired of constantly arguing with your husband every night? Or for men, are you tired of your wife nagging you every day? And then the subhead would say, finally, a surefire way to fix marital problems without having to go to therapy, right? So that's kind of adding to that. You want to make one up?
Are you tired of wasting money on advertising?
Exactly. Perfect. Are you tired of wasting money on advertising that doesn't yield a profit? Are you tired of not knowing where your money is coming from? Are you tired of losing sales to your competitors, right? Have you ever wanted to know the secret to how nerdy-looking guys get beautiful women? Yes, actually, like, how does that happen? So there you go. The question about pain, or the invocation of curiosity, is a great formula. The final one is really a new discovery for me, a classic one, but it never occurred to me to be this direct, is what I call dog whistle copy. I learned that term from mean old Dan Kennedy, who is just one of the greatest ever. Love Dan. And the concept of dog whistle is there's this whistle that only dogs can hear, but when you blow it, they're like, whoosh, and it's just for them. It's got like whatever specially attuned to their ears or something. So he calls it dog whistle copy, and that is copy that deliberately calls out specifically to the audience that you want to attract. So on one of our calls, our most recent Inner Circle call, we had a dude on, and he sells this app that's really cool, actually called voxr.org, that allows you to, if you're holding a live event, get feedback from your audience in real time. They can just do it over their phones. They can ask questions. It's really neat. And he sells it. It's actually not that expensive. It's $1,500 a day plus, depending on the size of the company that's using it. And his market is companies who are planning to hold a big company-wide conference in the next 90 days or so. And he's like, how do I run ads for this? And I was like, dude, we could go hog wild crazy and say, if you're planning on running a large corporate event in the next 90 days or so, read this, right? So dog whistle copy is very, very effective for just getting straight to your target market. So the idea in showing you these is to kind of take any mystery of creativity out of this process and just, here you go. Here are a couple of formulas for writing headlines. They always say the headline is the most important part of the sales letter. I think that's true, but I haven't run 9 million split tests in a whole bunch of different markets across sales letters, so I can't really verify that that's true, but if they say it enough, surely it must be true, right? I mean, they are them. And when they say something, it's pretty serious, especially if they say it in print. Okay, so look at that. Now, your next phase after a headline is the open. And man, this is where it all goes to crap, like almost instantly. Okay, so if you want to drive yourself crazy and absorb a lot of information, there's a good book that I've read about 47 pages of called Great Leads by, I can't remember, Mark Ford, maybe one of the Boardroom or Agora guys. All those guys are so good, it's insane. I never can finish books that aren't about car chases and explosions, unfortunately. But they talk about all these different types of leads, and the whole book is dedicated to this one section, which the lead is the very beginning of your sales letter, the first couple of sentences or paragraphs that really grabs the reader. And there's all kinds of formulas. My favorite one, and the one that I use almost every single time, like 99% of the time, is if you want to yay, then this is the most important letter you'll ever read. And sometimes I'll go crazy and follow it up with here's why. And that's like literally 99 times out of 100, that's the open that I'll use in a sales letter. So here's one from the Convert book, which I can't read that far away. Dear friend, if you'd like to create internet campaigns that sell like crazy, regardless of your industry, this is the most important book you'll ever read. And here it is again in the consulting book. Dear friend, if you'd like to sell consulting, coaching, or professional services, this will be the most important book you'll ever read. I did not come up with that open. I stole it, and I'm not sorry, because the person I have stolen it from is unfortunately deceased. And his name was Gary Halbert, and he was amazing. And yeah, buddy, he was great. And his kids are carrying on his legacy quite well, so they are by no means any slackers themselves. But here's one of Gary's ads, and it says, if you'd like to lose weight, man, this guy wrote so well. It's like watching Hendrix play or something. If you'd like to lose weight for real and do it extremely fast, up to 10 pounds of fat and fluid in 2 days, then up to 1 pound a day until you reach your goal, this is going to be the most exciting message you'll ever read. Here's why. And finally, another one from Gary, which he was writing clearly for me. South Beach. If you're already a professional model, well, duh. Or if you'd like to be, this is going to be the most exciting message you will ever read. I figure if it worked for Gary, it's good enough for me, and it worked for me every time, that I had to use it in conjunction with an actual good offer. It's not going to work if you have everything else sucks, you know? So that's how to do an open, and that's what I recommend you do. It just takes the thought right out of it. Now remember, I'm showing you how to write direct letters, right? Let's just make the offer and actually sell the stuff, not the ones that are 8,000 pages of story, which are typically going to be for people who don't even know that they need the thing yet, right? So this is a more direct approach, okay? So the next thing we have in the framework here is the damaging admission, which is really put in there to do two things. Number one, disqualify bad prospects. So that's really polarizing. It's making you more magnetic to your right prospects. Remember, the more repulsive you are to the ones that you don't want, the more magnetic you will be to the ones who you do. It's almost like rallying against a common enemy, but it's way more subtle in that regard. The other reason you want to do this is because you know they're going to have skepticism. If you address it right up front, you're immediately different. And according to them, and I forgot which of the greats came up with this one. I don't think it was Robert Collier. I can't remember. I get it all confused. But one of the really, really old school pioneers of direct response came up with this concept of making a damaging admission in your pitch, where you go ahead and tell them that hey, it's not for everybody, and here's some of the flaws with it, and that creates more trust. It's also really cool because it's true, and nothing that we have is really suitable for everyone, so we might as well be upfront about it, okay? So this is the next block here of your copy, and I'll give you some examples. This is right after the headline. I don't even remember which letter. This is probably for Convert, but here it is. But first, a warning. So I just had the open, right? If you want to create internet campaigns that sell regardless of your industry, this is the most important letter you'll ever read. Immediate skepticism, so I have to address it. But first, a warning. Before we go further, let me make something abundantly clear. This isn't one of those get-rich-quick websites that promises you a fortune for doing nothing. Two reasons I'm doing that. Number one, I don't want some jerk-off buying my stuff that's looking for a magic pill that's going to get him rich if he does no work. Because I'm not making any money from selling the book. I make money from building a relationship with real companies and real people that become members. So I don't want that guy, right? So let's just be repulsive to him. But this makes the pitch more magnetic to an actual person who is just looking for some solid advice, because that person has probably bought all the get-rich-quick pitches, hoping that there's some nuggets of goodness in there, and he's very jaded. So if we address that up front, we're magnetic to that person. Does that make sense? So you want to be doing that. It works very, very well. Then I go on to say, here's the deal. The system I outline in this book is working great for me, and I believe it can help you too, but I'm not suggesting that everyone or anyone who reads it is going to make a lot of money. I don't know how much money the people who read it will make. It's likely that many or most of them will make little or nothing at all, especially if they don't follow the directions and work hard. That is a damaging admission, right? Hey, this is working for me, but I don't, I'm not psychic, dude. I'm not one of these guys telling you that everything's going to work. I don't know, right? So I was thinking about this morning when I was reviewing this, and one of you guys, and you were sitting over there, but you've probably moved because you guys are trying to keep me on my toes, apparently, was saying that, hey, you've got this thing with the trees, the dude with the e-commerce thing, there you go. So the question was, you know what, man, I've got 2 customers, I've only done these 2 case studies, and it increased by adding a charitable donation to every purchase they made, or for every sale they made, it increased their sales by, 35%? So if we were doing that for you, I would say, but first, a very upfront disclaimer. Listen, we've only run 2 case studies that showed this. So it's not like we're going to say this method is going to work for every single company in the world. We're not psychic. We're not going to insult your intelligence by pretending that we are. But if you're interested in potentially increasing your conversions on your checkout page by 35% while actually doing some good in the world, then this might be of interest to you. We've just solved the problem of being very upfront about the fact you've only done 2 case studies on it, and we've made the damaging admission, therefore gaining the trust, right? And we're being cool. Like, you can never really go wrong by just not bullshitting people, right? So that's also a very helpful tactic. That was the one for the consulting book. This is the one for the convert book, right? And in convert, I didn't have really a target market other than internet businesses, so I wanted to be hyper repulsive to the ones that I didn't want. So I'll read this out loud to you, because if I can't see it, then I know y'all can't. Try to protect us from mic feedback here. All right, so right up at the top here, I just finished the open. Hey, if you want to XYZ, then this is the most important you'll ever read, most important letter you'll ever read. And by the way, yes, this book really is free, but before I tell you about it, let me make something perfectly clear. This isn't one of those get-rich-quick websites that promises you a fortune for doing nothing. Here's the deal. What you're getting is working great for me, and it's the exact system I've used to create internet ad campaigns that sold over $50 million worth of products and services online over the past few years alone, but there's a serious catch. Here's what it is. I've used what I'm giving you to build wildly successful campaigns for many different types of businesses. For example, I helped a famous New York Times bestselling author sell $1.4 million of his products in a 4-hour window. I helped a movie star and professional speaker sell just over $800,000 worth of products. I'm losing my voice, good Lord. Excuse me. By giving something away for free, and I've helped doctors, lawyers, financial planners, and even startups generate massive sales and revenues using what I'm going to share with you. However, in all caps, I'm not suggesting that everyone or anyone who reads this free book is going to make $50 million in sales or any money at all for that matter. I don't know how much the people who read it will make. It's likely that many or most of them will make little or nothing at all, especially if they don't follow the directions and work hard. Chances are you and I have never met, so I'm not about to insult your intelligence by telling you this book will make you rich. At the end of the day, you are the only person who can make you rich, not me, not a book, not some seminar speaker, and certainly not the guys in the late night infomercials. So what that is me polarizing the crap out of the audience right there, right? They're like, the people who are legit are like, damn, no one has ever been this upfront with us. We are very now interested in what this person has to say because for the first time in freaking history, someone's actually telling it like it is. The dipshits are like, oh, this is probably a scam because he didn't promise me I'm going to get rich and I'm just going to go join the latest, dumb thing out there or whatever. That's great. Go join it. God bless you. Vaya con Dios. You know what I mean? So that's cool. And then I make the damaging admission of, dude, I'm not psychic. I don't know. And that gains the trust. So very simple way to do it on the left. If it makes an L, it's the left. It's not that I forgot right from left temporarily. You're the ones that forgot it temporarily. Very simple version on the left, more elaborate version on the right. Regardless, do it. It works, right? And I'll tell you who had good luck with it is actually you. I looked at your letter and it followed the damn thing verbatim. Hot diggity. It worked. Happened to be, it was a good offer too, so the offer itself is pretty smart. Oh, sweet, good. They're telling me I can walk anywhere I want. I'm not gonna have mic feedback, that's awesome. Apparently, this is not a hollow-bodied Gibson guitar, and you can get close to the monitors without blowing out your audience's eardrums. That's wonderful. Damn things vibrate and feedback so bad, but they sound good. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make an introduction to the offer. This is where we start saying, and now here's the thing that I'm going to try to pitch you. And I don't really like being subtle about it. I mean, there's no point, as long as you're cool about it. People like to buy stuff, so we might as well try to sell it to them just in a friendly way. And that's something I really can't reiterate enough. There's this thing that we kind of put in our heads that's, well, we don't want to overtly try to sell anything. Dude, of course you want to overtly try to sell something. You just don't want to be a peckerhead about it. Like, our culture celebrates consumption as if it is an accomplishment, you know? Like, yeah, I got 75 Chanel bags and maxed out every credit card on the planet. Yay! And everyone's like, congratulations. You know, okay, great. That's good for us. Not really good for long-term financial planning, but good for us as people who sell things. So we introduce the offer, and here's how you do it. So you see at the top of this, and I'll read it to you. At the top of this copy here, it says, with that said, let me jump in and show you. And this, just fades away. Yeah, you can't see it, okay. With that said, let me jump in and show you. That's right after the damaging admission, right? This is the most important letter you'll ever read. Here's a huge damaging admission. With that said, let me jump in and show you. And now we're in the chunk of introducing the offer where I say exactly what you're getting. I would just copy that verbatim. It works pretty good. And it's kind of embedding the command or future pacing or whatever the proper linguistic term is. So exactly what you're getting. First of all, this isn't like any business book you've ever read. There's no fluff or filler. It's just battle-tested tactics that are working right now, and it's easy to read. It's 68 pages. You can read it in an afternoon, and you'll immediately get the entire system I use to get 36 consulting clients, paying an average of $48.60 per month. Results not typical. Don't buy anything ever. In just 90 days part-time. All right, so that is an intro to the offer. Here's another example of that. Where we go. This is from the Convert book. Notice the copy is exactly the same, the transition. Literally, with that said, let me jump right in and show you. So with that understood, let me tell you exactly what you're getting. Exactly what you're getting. If it works, it works. Just keep doing it. You know, there's no point in reinventing the wheel. So I go on and say, this is dramatically different from anything you've ever read because it's more of a field guide to advertising for massive profits than a traditional book. The reason why is because there's no fluff or filler. It immediately gets down to brass tacks, showing you exactly what to do, how to do it, and why. Plus, it's easy. It's just 75 pages. You can read it in an afternoon, and you'll immediately get, oh, some bitch, look at that. I'm copying myself, aren't I? And you'll immediately get the entire methodology I personally used to create some of the most successful internet advertising campaigns in history. That's a little bit of a stretch, really. It's in our specific niche, so if I were to republish that letter, I would change it to be more specific in the history of the online education space or something like that, just to avoid being filled with shenanigans. Yes, sir? All the time. Yeah, he asked me how often I copy and paste stuff writing letters. I learned to write copy by having Dan's stuff on the left and Microsoft Word on the right. And I would copy Dan's paragraph, and then I would change it to be mine. And I was talking to Natalia, and she's like, yeah, when I write email, I just pull up your stuff. She's got 2 monitors, you know, because now we're fancy. We done got uppity that way. So she's got 2 monitors. She's like, I'll just put yours on the left, and I'll put mine on the right, and I'll just change it. And I'm like, that's great. I wish more people would do that. Just don't put my damn name on it, though. I've had that happen. I'm like, if you could kindly leave my name off of this promotion, please. That would be very helpful to me. It's just so irrelevant. It's so crazy. Yeah, but they're not even, I think they just like forget, you know. I'm like, dude, I'm not in the, you know, how to stop your divorce business at all. This is not working. Yes, ma'am.
If we're leading people to this, are we using the same title headline on like the Facebook ad?
Yeah, you can. Actually, I like to be very, very educational in the Facebook ads. So most of my Facebook and YouTube ads are video, and they're long, and they're educational. So I'll teach, for like 2 or 3 minutes. I'll be like, hey, if you like this stuff, you're going to like my book. So that's why this page gets 9.5% to 10% conversion. If I just was like, hey, here's a book, it probably wouldn't convert as well. Yeah, typically so. So he asked, he sees some of my ads and they're just image ads with posts. And do they convert worse than the videos? And typically they do. And the reason you see those is because my Facebook team have been like, dude, we need new videos for months. I've been, okay, I'll get to it eventually. I'm very, very busy and important. So they're like, all right, shit, we'll just make image ads or something because you dickhead won't give us any new copy. So I finally gave them new videos. So that's why I would always use video when you can. Yeah, sure. Some books on copy? Sure. I actually read this whole book. It's Dan Kennedy's Ultimate Sales Letter. If you got $12 or so laying around, get it. And if you don't have $12 or so, then you really need to get it. It's a very, very good book. Breaks down the framework of a sales letter really, really well. I think that's the only actual book exclusively dedicated to copy that I've ever read in its entirety. The Gary Halbert newsletter.com is free, and it's got hundreds of archives of his paid newsletters in there, which are ridiculously good. And I don't know why everybody doesn't go there constantly and consume them religiously. I had it all printed out. It's like this stack of stuff. And if you ever want to really feel inferior as a copywriter, just read those because he's so good, man, and so incredible. But those are the two big resources I would give. Yes? So here's the ugly truth. I'll make video sales letters because I can do it faster and I don't want to write. But I have zero data to show whether one is better than the other. My guess is that long form is probably better. Total guess. But the reason why is who the hell wants to watch one of those damn videos? I mean, it's awful. I never watch sales videos. I'm like, where's the damn thing? And there's a process that we use to deal with that in marketing, and I'll show it to you later. But I think video was built because people didn't want to write copy. They're like, well, let's just get up there and talk and see what happens. And it started working. We're like, yay, we don't have to write as much. But I think the letter probably, as an asset, is going to be more valuable over time, for sure. Yeah, sure. Do I recommend using a real book? Yeah, as long as it's good and fulfills the promise said in the letter, you can use whatever you want. Yeah, that's all we care about. Is that it lives up to our big mouth promises in the letter. If it's a published book, if it's a little pamphlet, who cares? All right, I'll take one more and then I'll keep on going. And just pass the mic, if you will. Thank you.
What about having the video at the top and then the copy underneath, or have the copy reveal after 5 minutes of the video? Or
so in my tests, which are limited to just me, so this by no means means it's a universally applicable thing, that totally bombs. And I don't know why, because I would figure it would work great. When you use video in my testing alone, which again, limited and only mine, so it's by no means to be extrapolated as universal law or principle. In my personal tests, when you use video, the best thing is headline, video, button, delayed until the right point in the video. I ain't even know why. You'd think the cooler looking stuff would work, but who cares, really, right? As long as we know. Okay, so that is how to introduce the offer. And our next step is expand the benefits of the offer. And the formula I like to use is it's about more than just X, right? So let me give you some examples from the consulting book. Now remember, I just said this book is going to show you how I got all these consulting clients and stuff, and it's super awesome. And now I say it's about more than just consulting. The reason why is because I want more than just consultants. I want coaches in there too. I want professional service providers. It just would take too long in the damn title of the book if I said, here's how to get coaching, consulting, professional service providers quickly, even if no one's ever heard of you, so I do it in the letter. It's about more than just consulting. See, you can use the same system in this book to sell all kinds of high-end products and services. For example, I currently use the same system to get professional services clients from my marketing agency every month for an average of $12,000 per client. We architect and install high-level automation solutions for advertisers. I also use the same strategies in the book to sell high-end masterminds. I created a group of 12 members in 60 days, and the price is $35,000 per member. Some of you guys are in here that were members of that, no refunds. An insurance company recently used the same strategies in the book to recruit financial advisors for their firm. A client in the mortgage industry, that's our member Carl White, by the way, is using the same strategies to recruit loan officers for a lending institution, and then using the same strategies to turn those loan officers into coaching clients that pay him $18,000 per month for his services. That's factually inaccurate. It's actually I said 1,800, not 18,000, but it's $1,860 per month for his services, so I should update that to make it accurate. So like I said, there's more to this little book than just consulting, okay? That's how you do it, all right? So expand a little bit on the benefit of the thing. It doesn't have to be long. So if we were saying, if our book was, here's how to grow tomatoes, for example, you could say, it's about more than just growing tomatoes. For example, you can use the same strategies in this book to hydroponically grow marijuana in your basement without the smell being carried across to your neighbors, or whatever. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I mean, apparently people do that. I don't know. So it's California. It's legal now. It's amazing. It's legal for the next 35 seconds, I think, which is great. Thank you, Trump. Good job, buddy. That's exactly what you need to be focused on right now, sir. It's the marijuana issue. I mean, smart choice. Okay, so last thing we want are those cancer patients not suffering from the negative effects of chemo. So next time, our next phase here is to move into the bullets. And buddy, let me tell you, you can screw up so much of this, but if you get your headline and open right, and then you get your bullets right, assuming your offer is good, that they want whatever it is, you're going to crush. Bullets are one of the most underutilized, overlooked pieces of a sales letter ever. So let me give you some formulas for bullets, and then we'll spend some time on it. Formula number 1 is how to X even if Y. All right? How to get washboard abs even if you can't do a single sit-up. It's called cosmetic surgery. All right? You need X, right? Wrong. Okay, I stole this one from Paris. I can never pronounce his last name right. He's so good, too. Such a cool guy. Does anyone know how to pronounce Paris's last name? Larampolis? Sorry, Paris. We all are assholes. But you're an incredible copywriter, sir, so hats off to you. I have a 4-letter last name. I mean, make it easy for everybody. Okay, so I stole this from him. And it's you address the common belief and then create massive curiosity by talking against it, right? So you need vitamin C to fight off colds, right? Wrong. And then you put in discover the number 1 ingredient that's 20 times more powerful than vitamin C on page 26, right? So it's a curiosity driver. X ways to Y, classic. 10 ways to get her to say yes, page 35. 47 ways to get new leads, page 36, right? Really, really basic stuff. Where to find why? Where to find new clients in a brand new city where nobody knows you, right? Where to find underground cage fighting matches in the strictest of Islamic extremist environments, right? What if they were really easy to find? It was they're just right here. You never know. How to eliminate X. How to eliminate back pain forever, right? How to eliminate self-doubt. How to eliminate procrastination. How to eliminate the need to eliminate things, all right? What you should never is a great one. 5 things you should never say when trying to convert a new prospect into a client. Okay, that's even kind of spicing it up a little bit because I put a number in there. Woo, crazy time, all right? Why counterintuitive works. So counterintuitive is the thing they think would not work. So I think I use this. I'll show you some of my bullets in a minute for the consulting book, I think it is. Why talking about your credentials never works when selling consulting services. See, they would usually think that their credentials matter. Of course they don't matter. No one cares. It's just, can you help me or not? The best way to prove that is to help them in advance, all right? Say goodbye to frustration. Say goodbye to hour-long treadmill sessions. See a faster way to burn fat on page 46, right? The truth about X. So all of these formulas, so how many formulas we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you can use each formula 3 different times in your letter, you got 27 bullets. Bullets are real good, especially when you're selling information, because for whatever reason, the brain attributes a bullet with a thing that you're getting. So the more bullets, the more things that you're getting in the stuff. Yes, sir, doctor? As much as I can. I stole it from Mel Martin, and his bullets were called Fascinations, that he was so heavily curiosity-driven. Charlie's question was, are these bullets meant to invoke curiosity? And in my case, yeah, and that's kind of my go-to. But these aren't the only formulas, so I'll walk you through a couple more examples. Well, let's see. Yeah, why not? Let's go nuts. Let's answer. Well, let's get the mic, though. Can we have a mic runner to these two fellas? While you're getting the mic, wait, it'll mess us up. You ask your question while he's getting the mic, and I'll recite your question, Ryan, and then they'll get you a mic. Okay? I always say so his question is, have you tested saying what page it's on, and does it work better? I've never tested it. I always do it. And I always do it because guys that sold a lot more stuff than me did it in things like print media, and it worked. And I'm like, dude, if it worked in that harsh of an environment, I ain't gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna copy what you guys did. So a lot of the stuff I'm showing you, I'm just gonna take these 2. So I'll take his in a sec, and then we'll keep teaching, and then we'll do it at the end, if you don't mind, just because I don't want to lose my train of thought. A lot of the stuff I'm showing you worked in what I consider to be the most difficult environment, which is display media. So I'll show you some Mel Martin stuff, and I think we got some Gene Schwartz wipes in here. And these are things where people would be reading the newspaper, and they would see a long-form ad, and they would buy right from the freaking ad. And man, if you can sell in that environment, then it works, right? So we think it's hard for us. We can email people 1 billion times for nothing, right? These dudes had to get the money impulsively from an interruptive ad and a source of media that people are not reading for advertising, right? So really we're using like the nuclear bomb in a small situation where the other guys don't even have guns, which is good. Okay, I'll take that question and then I'll keep going, and then we'll do the rest of them. I'm not trying to put y'all off.
I can see how just repurposing these, you could just Tommy gun somebody with bullets. So is there a sweet spot number to use?
No. I tried to do like 2 or 3 per formula. And what I'll do is I will literally go through the pages of the material and just try to find something that'll fit the formula and make it interesting, you know? And I'll show you actually examples. Oh, here's another formula, what to do if. What to do if you're generating leads but nobody's closing. So typically that's going to be addressing a frustration. What to do if people are opting in but they're not clicking on your emails. What to do if people show up to your webinars but don't buy. What to do when people say no, right? So that's an example of that. When it's okay to. When it's okay to tell a client to take a hike. When it's okay to refuse to accept money from a new prospect, and why sometimes it causes them to demand to let them pay you, right? So here are, and there's no way anyone can read this, sorry. Of course you can have the slides and stuff for your own use. All right, so this is right after the expansion. So if we go back to the framework, okay, I just said it's about more than just consulting. I've also used it for coaching. I've also used it to sell masterminds. Here's a financial services guy that's used it, right? And now I'm going into the bullets. So the segue is, like I said, there's more to this little book than just consulting. Here's a fraction of what you're getting. 5 ways to get prospects eager to buy. Now, we could just leave that and say on page 26 or whatever, but I like to expand the bullet to make it more interesting. So I say 5 ways to get prospects eager to buy before they even see your pitch. Believe it or not, one way is by refusing to sell to them. See how it works in the other 4 ways as well on page 53. So if you expand the bullets, it can make them even more fascinating, right? So the copy along with the bullet is almost like a mini pitch for the bullet itself. And if you're looking at buying a book, this is basically representing things you're getting in the book. So the more of these, the more things that come with the book. It's like a visual association that our brains make, which is cool, right? So how to get clients in the next 14 days, even if you're a complete unknown and even if you have no list, page 48. Today, get in front of perfect prospects with money to spend. The secret is a dirt cheap hybrid of super cheap online and PPC advertising that I've never seen anyone else using. The near psychic approach to generating leads and subscribers. That's just simply how to X. It's like nothing you've ever seen before and positions you as a trusted authority almost instantly. A proven way to get your prospects to practically crawl across broken glass and beg you to help them. Forget the usual internet marketing stuff. This 7-step approach works much better and makes you look like a hero. I'm combining bullet formulas right there. The forget the thing that you don't like. It's almost like think you need X, wrong, right? In fact, I even use that somewhere in here. Here's the how to eliminate one. How to eliminate sales resistance and skepticism. Just say these magic words and they're like putty in your hands. Right? Here's the other one. You need sales letters and sales videos in order to get customers, right? Wrong. The usual stuff totally backfires when it comes to selling higher end products and services. Here's a brand new approach that's faster, simpler to implement, and quite frankly, better. Okay? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is from Convert. I can tell by the font, I think. Look at that. So that's 20 bullets for a $5.60 page book. And I don't think that's all the bullets in the letter. I think these are just the bullets that I'm sharing with you. So what do we have there? 12 formulas that I gave you, right? And those 12 formulas produced 20-something bullets. And here's the same use of the formula, the fastest way to X, the fastest way to make someone want what you're selling, right? Why you should never, remember that's a formula, why you should never, when to never, why you should never send your traffic straight to a sales message. The worst time to try to make a sale. I stole that one from Boardroom or Agorda, which is the one thing, actually it's Mel Martin, I think. No, who the hell was it? I think it was Gene Schwartz. The worst food or the one thing you should never eat on an airline. That's where I got that idea from. Okay, so there's more formulas though. You can use big questions as bullets as well. And this is one that I haven't really tested, but it's been tested by people who made a lot more money than me, and I'm going to start ripping it off immediately, right? So, here, I'll come to this side. I want to hang out with you guys for a little bit, all right? Keep the video crew active. It counts as a oblique exercise if you have to rotate the camera like that. Okay, big questions as bullets. So this is for selling a book about recipes. This is a Mel Martin ad. Mel Martin was, his bullets were known as fascinations because they were so fascinating. I think this is Mel Martin, damn it. Have you been boiling eggs in the wrong pot? And can it really matter? See page 10. Are you trying to sell to the wrong crowd? Does age really matter in terms of your prospects, right? Have you been playing your guitar in the wrong key? Does the brand of string really matter? A humane way to kill a lobster? This is a bundle of bullets all in one condensed space. And most of them are questions. A humane way to kill a lobster? See page 138. How to bread your meat or fish without the crumbs sticking to your fingers? See page 125. How to keep lasagna noodles from sticking together? See page 159. Have you been serving your roast beef too soon after it comes out of the oven? Read page 59 carefully. Simple, big questions that might be on their mind, right? So if you make a list of all the things they're curious about, as long as our book can fulfill on these answers, right? So we don't want to just make up stuff. That would be bad. But these are great bullet formulas. This is from a fellow named Ralph Ginsberg. And this dude was just amazing in copy. And he sold all kinds of crazy stuff. But his bullets are 100% big questions. And this is it was a bribe to subscribe offer, I think. He was trying to get people to subscribe to a newsletter or magazine about sex and stuff. So these are a little bit racy, but not too racy. Listen to these questions though. Can an extramarital affair ever help to keep a marriage going? What is the effect of marijuana on sexual pleasure? Wait a minute. What is a maxi orgasm? Is there really such a thing as a nymphomaniac? What's the effect of powerful sexual excitement on the heart? How can overweight be turned to advantage in bed? Well, I'm going to go buy that immediately. What is the method some men employ to prolong intercourse? Thinking about baseball. What limitations, if any, are imposed on sexual activity by pregnancy? How frequently do most couples engage in sex? What are the sense signals sent out by a woman desiring sex? Does the sex diet work? Will taking the pill cause a woman to gain weight? What's the maximum number of times a woman can have an... Women have those? No. That's deceptive advertising. How many seconds does sexual intercourse normally take? Okay. Well, I mean, it's a trick question. Are you counting the apology part of it, or so what? I think he should have been more clear about that. Personally, I don't think that was. I think that was a little bit. I don't think that would fly in today's regulatory environment, right? Here are some more. And these are. I don't think these are Ginsburg's. These are Ginsburg's. Okay, I think. Has your Social Security, so this is a totally different topic, that's why I showed it. Has your Social Security become so valuable that you should, as some people have done, tattoo your account number somewhere on your body? What forms of deception have people employed in order to maximize their Social Security benefits and collect pensions early? What are the penalties for such deception? Because you know immediately the reader's like, can I get away with this crap? You know? How can a husband collect a pension based on his wife's earnings? What essential documents do most people fail to preserve for presentation when filing a claim? What step do most pensioners fail to take in order to completely eliminate the possibility of loss or theft of their monthly checks? You see? So you can take a big question or a list of them and then hammer them out as bullets. So now you got another bullet trick to add to those formulas that I gave you. All right? Here are dog whistle bullets. Dog whistle bullets are bullets that call straight out to the person who is most likely to benefit from that one chunk of information. This, I believe, is Gene Schwartz, who was ridiculously good. His real books are hard to read, though. 0 car chases. For Scrabble players, a 3-letter word for totem pole beginning with an X, page 271. A 3-letter word containing an X and a Z. What the hell is that going to be? Page 375. For feminists, 2 additional ways to say male chauvinist, both on page 9. This is great. For gourmets, what does beluga mean? Want to bet? See page 22. Oh, that's beautiful. Because, I mean, for me, I'm like, it's caviar. But clearly it's not caviar because the average reader is going to know what beluga means. So now man, that guy was good. Okay. For crossword fans, a 4-letter word for what is removed from a piece of paper when you punch a hole in it. For the counterculture, a 7-letter word meaning a fine blend of marijuana from India. I bet that's indica. How many words does indica, or how many letters does indica have in it? Page 9. Also, what you're really accusing people of when you call them alienated. Big dog whistle copy. Examples. Here's another formula. If you have a problem or concern, so if you X, right? So this is another formula for bullets. If you stopped something, if you stopped improving once you reach the point of being fairly good, this is for golfers, see page 150. Now that would work by itself, but I love the way he expands it. If you're sure you haven't reached your full golfing potential, your grip may be holding you back, and the correct grip for you may not be the orthodox one. See pages 29 and 44. If you feel guilty about forgetting to keep your head down, forget it. That is not the reason you've been topping your shots. See page 123. This is from a different ad. If the first thing you do, oh, no, it's not. If the first thing you do before swinging is position your feet, you've got the order wrong. Now, does anyone play golf? That's completely wrong sounding. Like, now I want to know. I don't even like golf. I hate golf. I think golf was invented by ISIS to some sort of thing to get us angry and preoccupied so they could have better chances of invasion. If your shots feel solid when you hit them, I have no idea what you're talking about, but the ball flies in the wrong direction anyway, see page 19. So it's dog whistle. If you have this problem or concern, do this, right? So that's another formula. Oh, dang it, I didn't know that thing was up there. I'm just going to read it from here. That's completely redundant. That's the same question formula. Oh, no, it's not. So this is more problems. If your biscuits aren't as flaky as you'd like to see, page 231. If the meringue on your baked Alaska isn't stiff enough, see page 267. If your eggs Benedict aren't what they should be, read page 145. This is from the same ad, by the way, that had the questions. So he's combining two formulas. This is Gene Schwartz's, I forgot what it's like, the book for gourmets. I think it's Gene Schwartz or Mel Martin. I forget because I'm on camera. But he's using multiple formulas in the same ad right there. So remember the one that was like, hey, do you pull your roast beef out at the right time? Using the big question. Now it's the if you have the big problem. Same ad, all right? So the next thing we want to do after the bullets, and there need to be a lot of bullets, okay? Headline, super formulaic. Open, super formulaic. Introduction to thing, super formulaic. Bullets, magic. I'd practice writing bullets all the time if I were you. Just get to where you can crank those suckers out. I can't, so I just look at the framework and I'm like, oh, here are the formulas. Okay, I'll just make up bullets based on these formulas, and then I'll get rid of the ones that are super stupid, and I'll keep the ones that are good. So I'll usually write a lot, and then I'll keep the ones that I like. And it takes like 30 minutes because I have the framework, you know. Plus, it's kind of fun. So our next part of assembly line copy is you now want to transition to a stack. So it's one thing to go, today, you can have this, and here's how cool it is, and here's all the bullets about it, and then say, here's the offer. But it's better to now stack value into the offer, okay? So what I like to do is acknowledge, so this is right after the bullets, I'll say, yeah, that's a lot of X. So yes, that's a lot of battle-tested tactics to show you how to get some consulting clients. Or yes, that's a lot of ways to turn a yes into a no. Or yes, that's a tremendous amount of strategies to create campaigns that sell, but it gets better because you're also getting, and then I move into additional value. So let me take to giving you some examples. This is from, I don't even know which one of the books it is, but I bet I copy it verbatim in each one. You're right. So it's right after the bullets. You're right. That is a lot of battle-tested strategies and tactics, and it's stuff that nobody else can share with you because no one else is doing it. But it gets better because you're also getting, so all I'm doing right now is transitioning. All right? And now we transition into the bonuses. And an offer without bonuses is like a gun without bullets. You know, you could hit them with it, maybe, but if you put bullets in it, it's going to work a whole lot better, right? Hold still so I can throw this 357 at you. Come closer, okay? So here's how we do the announcement of bonuses. And here's the thing about bonuses. A lot of people will have them. If you sell the bonus just as hard as you're selling the main thing, you have now a compounded sales message. So most people are like, and there's also a bonus, and it's pretty cool. I'm lazy about this too, as you can see. But if we do the same bullets and stuff for the bonus and build the same amount of desire for the bonus or more, now we're just compounding the desire built in the sales message, right? So with that said, here's me being lazy about it, and then here's me not being as lazy about it. So, but it gets better because you're also getting the advanced stealth persuasion system for high-end sales. At the end of this book, you're getting a complete blueprint for the most powerful sales methodology ever deployed in any industry. You'll learn how to close super high-end sales with no pressure, convincing, or traditional selling. This simple but effective method has been giving me great sales conversion for almost 2 years running, but no one else does it. So that's for my consulting book. All right, it keeps on going, by the way. So this is the same copy here. I just couldn't fit it all on the one image without it looking weird, so don't let that throw you. The best part of this is that it's specifically designed for people who hate selling. Listen, if you don't like sales, you're not alone. I can't stand it either. I'd literally rather do hard manual labor than be a typical salesman, and that's why I've spent years developing the system I'll be giving you at the end of this book. When you use it, 2 things will happen. First, you'll be of genuine help to everyone you use it with. They'll come away from the experience viewing you as a trusted friend and advisor, regardless of whether or not they buy anything. This is really important to you because it sets you up for a long-term relationship with them, where they're significantly more likely to become a good customer that does business with you for years. The next thing you'll notice is this. You'll know how to make more sales. Then you'll do it without using any pressure. You won't have to convince anyone of anything, and you won't even have to talk about yourself or your services much at all. That's because of the way the system works, all right? That's me stacking more value to the thing, okay? So, I'll move, oh, yikes. So our next step, I like pacing. A little bit of coffee this morning, 3 shots of espresso. Now we begin the close. So if you look at the most basic framework of an offer, it's this. Here's what I got. Here's what it'll do for you. Here's what I want you to do next. I love right out saying, here's what I want you to do next. right? So we just introduced bonuses or stacked value or either one that you want to do. Now it's time to tell them to buy it. And I like to really tell them to buy it. So here is the screenshots from 2 different letters. This is the one for the consulting book, which is sold as a download. I say, here's what to do next. The cost of this book is $5.60, and you get it instantly as a download. As soon as you place your order, you'll get an automated receipt with a link to download the book directly in your email. You can access it anywhere, immediately, without having to wait for